me, I felt the learning community helped sort of re-energise and revigorate my own teaching when I returned to college, and I think that new enthusiasm came across in my teaching, and especially with the Ofsted aspect of the feedback given back to me was the fact that I was very enthusiastic and had lots of new good ideas for my teaching.
Yeah, for me, having again been out of work for a year on maternity, coming back in terms of how I went about planning my lessons, learning community kind of flipped it around for me, and I started looking at my objectives matching with the way in which I assess the students, which then led to my resources, which is something I've never done before really. I looked at what's the lesson about, built up my resources, then thought about assessment, and getting a grade 1 from Ofsted, they certainly said that the key strength of my lesson was the way in which I assessed the students, my assessment methods, the fact that it was fun and engaging, and they were all really enjoying that and being part of that, and you know, that was from sharing all those resources in learning community.
For me, yeah, it was looking at assessment for learning and assessment as learning. Previously, really, I'd looked more at summative assessment, and it meant that the students were able to self-assess themselves. We used scaling techniques. So, for example, in my Ofsted observation, the students used a sheet where they could write down areas they felt confident with and not so confident. And then throughout the lesson they could see those areas move from not so confident to confident, and the Ofsted inspector really liked that because the learners were being more autonomous, they were taking responsibility for their own learning.
It shows their journey as well, which was what was picked up
yeah,
online.
Yes.